There are few leverage points as big as getting our buildings right. Buildings use 3/4 of America's electricity and 1/3 of the directly used natural gas, but most of that energy is wasted. Buildings can keep us healthier, happier, and of course help protect the Earth's climate and our national security.
Our approach was quite different with this building. We call it integrative design. And we start with, what is it we're trying to achieve? And the answer to that is occupant comfort. We looked for all of the possible ways that one might achieve that. The result is a building that's less expensive to operate, emits less carbon, and is more reliable.
We'll be the most efficient cold climate building in the US. That's over 75% reduction compared to a traditional office building. That didn't require all sorts of technical new innovations. It was refocusing on good passive design. The 6 things that we're doing to make this building super efficient are: we have the best windows available, we have insulation everywhere, we have good passive solar design, we have very elegant combination of natural lighting and super efficient lighting throughout the building, and the last piece is we have natural ventilation.
When we approached the lighting in this building, we first focused on daylighting. And then once we maxed out the daylighting, we were able to supplement that when people needed it with very efficient LED fittings. And then also very efficient little desk lamps so that occupants could control and fine-tune what they really needed on their work surface.
We have a very airtight envelope. This is really important because it enables us to control when we want to interact with the outside air, instead of just having the outside air come in and out whenever it wants to. Natural ventilation really is letting people open the windows when they want fresh air. We have an active natural ventilation system in that we have actuators on our windows that are controlled to open and close when that ventilation is needed. We have thermal mass in the floors and in the walls. We have windows where we can collect that passive sun. And during the summers when we don't necessarily want that heat gain, we have fixed interior light shelves, and then we have this really beautiful exterior operable shading system that enabled us to eliminate any kind of cooling system that we have in the building. And we have a very small distributed heating system. It's radiant mats located in the floors and walls that are providing gentle heat where the people need it, not in a traditional forced air system where we're just conditioning this entire volume of air.
So when a user sits down at their desks and they want to adjust, whether or not they're too hot or too cold, they will have a fan at their desk that they can continuously adjust. There'll be a fan above them in the ceiling. They will also have the hyperchair, which has fans in the chair itself that they'll be able to control, not just on the chair, but even on their iPhone. And then if they're cool, again, the chair has heating in there that will help bring up their body temperature.
Combustion is so 20th century. We don't do any of that. This building produces more solar energy on the roof than it uses.
The concept of net zero is really simple. It's that your building's demand is less than the amount your building can produce on site of renewable energy. It turns out we actually have 2 different roofs on the building that have 5 different PV arrays on them, all linked together. We'll also be able to fit in 6 electric vehicles on site and meet the needs of those electric vehicles.
One of the things about integrative design in designing a building is to bring the entire design team together from the very beginning.
Integrated project delivery aligns contractual incentives around a common goal. From an owner's perspective, one of the most powerful parts of this IPD is not only the integrative design process and all working together as a team, but the cost control that we as an owner have.
The energy performance this building achieves is genuinely extraordinary. But if it remains extraordinary, in some ways it's failed. We want that extraordinary to become ordinary, to become the way that people build buildings. So not only is the energy performance of this building critically important to us, but also the story of that, the business case, is also crucial to us, so that this building can spawn 10,000 similar buildings.
This has been a tremendous learning experience for our own team that we're extracting lessons learned and takeaways to put into other projects. We've worked with our design teams to make sure that the lessons they're taking away can be extracted to other projects. So we'll have a lot of that information on our website. We'll have live data feeds to the performance of our building in real time on the website.
The building is really an example of what can be done when integrated design is applied. It's a very high performance building. Not only is it net zero energy, it was built to last 100 years. So I think it really does show what other owners and the industry can do with a building of this size and type. This building, I think, means a lot to our staff and I think to our donors, because it really does make a statement about who we are and our values and how and why we work.
I'd really like to thank the design and construction team for working with us throughout this entire process and learning with us and being really open about helping us improve the process and really come together to make this amazing building, which we couldn't have done without them.
So I think it really is a wonderful feather in RMI's cap. Finally being in this building is just such an honor and so rewarding.